In today's video, we're gonna be giving away a private island. We're gonna be driving a Tesla off a cliff. We're gonna be selling my most prized possessions to pay off my mortgage. In other words, we're making a Mr. Beast video.
I don't give a fuck. Best video possible, or get it out of my face. I don't care.
Hello ladies and fins, it's me, Finn, and today we're going to be looking at how Mr. Beast edits his videos, or more specifically, how he prescribes his team of professional full-time editors to edit his videos for him. Now, we're not talking about Mr. Beast Gaming here, and we're not talking about Mr. Beast Reacts. We're talking about the king of the pond, baby, the main channel. Sure, there's been hundreds of in-depth analysis videos on Mr. Beast's success and his channel, and sure, they're all actually good and useful videos, but they're missing one thing. I don't even have to tell you what that one thing is. It's me, the best editor on YouTube.
Did you miss me?
Let's get right into the news. We're gonna look at Mr. Beast, and I've made an analogy which is all about fishing.
Wow.
Okay, just bear with me. Mr. Beast has got epic thumbnails, right? That's the thing, that's the bait on the hook, his thumbnails. Cast that out. Cast it out. So when people click that video, that's when they bite. That's when they take the bait. And then when they've taken the bait, you need to strike that shit hard. And I'm talking like...
Boy, what the hell, boy?
And that is the first 15 to 30 seconds, the introduction. You need to establish what you're gonna do in this video. Then you need to establish how you're gonna do that thing in this video, whilst also maybe tackling why you're gonna do this thing. You gotta edit seriously faster. I'm talking maybe one cut every second at least, or something visual changing. Mr. Beast doesn't always have a cut every second. Sometimes he just has a piece of text that pops up. Something visual has to happen at least every single second. Something new. Just imagine that your audience has extreme ADHD. Probably not far off the truth. When you're thick in the edit, you need to focus on layering things. You can have a lot of fun with layering. This means transitions, overlays, dust, pound, ground effects, you know, the ones that go... You need to just really sink your teeth into layering shit up, like constantly. Think about effects like the basic 3D effect. Mr. Beast doesn't really use that himself, but you know, if you started using it, then immediately you've got a one-up on him in terms of editing. Use the transform tool to get blurry zooms. Rotoscoping, have explosions behind you, that kind of thing. And then combine them all together and bam, you got layering. The smooth transitions are a big part of Mr. Beast's editing style. I've got a whole video on how to do those properly, so go and check that out in the thing after you've watched this video.
We're not goofing off. We're creating musical fusion.
So music. Mr. Beast uses a lot of music. I'm talking cinematic music. I would say that when it comes to making videos, mainly about a situation that you're putting people in, and you want to make it more intense, which is what Mr. Beast absolutely capitalizes on, then music is going to be your best friend. If we go through every single song that's on a Mr. Beast video, you will notice that they're all this kind of similar cinematic, like dun 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 dun.
J'ai construit l'escape room la plus dangereuse.
This is the largest stadium in the world. Green light.
That kind of thing. And a whole lot of cinematic booms. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna count this stadium.
So many cinematic booms. You just gotta think about it like it's a movie. Like everything has to be super cinematic. Everything has to fucking with bass and with sound. Almost all of it is the kind of stock music that you'd find on sites like Licked, where they have stock music and you can just buy them, download them, put them on your video and not worry about copyright. So if you're thinking about making your channel something a little bit like Jimmy's, then you need to think about signing up to stock music libraries and not relying on YouTube, because if music is gonna be as important as it is, you need to know that it's not gonna get copyrighted. So after that first 15 to 30 seconds, you're gonna wanna set the hook. So now that you've striked your imaginary fish, your audience member, then you need to start setting the hook in. And that is just pulling it in still pretty, you know, full on right now. And that is the next 20 to 30 seconds after your initial introduction, which should have been 15 to 30 seconds. It depends on the kind of content you're making, but this could be bringing in a personal story. This could be setting up the stakes. In Mr. Beast videos, it usually transpires that he'll show the challenge happening in a really intense montage. And that just makes you think, oh my God, that thumbnail that I clicked, it's real, it's actually happening. Those spikes are on the wall. Holy shit. Oh shit. Oh yeah. So you got them to click the video, you did the introduction, and now they're just watching. It's very likely at this point that they're gonna continue watching until you slip up and do something boring. Now, the way to stop this happening, and from what I've seen in an interview with Jimmy himself, and also applies directly to me as well in my edits, is that if something becomes even remotely boring, like even slightly boring, I get rid of it. I get rid of it. It just doesn't need to be there. When it comes to editing, you've got to just be brutal with it.
Listen. You.
If there's ever a moment where I'm even slightly bored, I'm like, cut it. And if there's something where I'm not just like, wow, you know, like the whole time, then it's like, don't upload it.
So really try and make an effort to streamline your content so that you're getting everything you need to say in that first minute of the video. Because a minute isn't a long time, but you can say so much in that minute. It's unbelievable. Okay, so your audience has taken the bait, they've watched the introduction, the hook is now set, and you're reeling them in. This is the fight against the audience right here. This is the real tough bit, which is where you need to really try and keep them in check and make sure that they're just always watching the video, no matter what. And there are so many ways that you can do this, and I'll go through some of them with you now. Now, like I said earlier, Mr. Beast uses a lot of music. So he uses cinematic vibes quite a lot. If you're gonna do something cinematic, maybe don't go from classical music to like trap music, that kind of thing. It might work depending on your video, but just take my advice here, maybe just try and keep it consistent. Now this is a really important one. You need to aim to get a dopamine hit every 10 seconds or so. This can just be a visual cue, this can be something satisfying happening in your video, this could be a change of scenery, something just to say, hey, come here. I remember in one of Hayden's video, he says it's about the explosion. He just puts in an explosion and it just goes,
Oh, what was that? It's re-engaging and it's kind of cleansing your palate.
It's as simple as that sometimes. On a larger scale to this, if you think that your video is going to start going down a more boring route, then you need to make a change, an unexpected turn of events. Mr. Beast does this all the time. He'll throw something into the mix which will just change everything. Oh, this bridge is going to explode. That thing that you were relying on doesn't exist anymore.
We're gonna make you partner with your best friend.
Something like that. More money thrown into the mix. And possibly my most important piece of advice from me is to just trust your gut when it comes to the pacing. When pacing is good, you'll get that feeling where you're just like, I didn't edit it that much, but still I really liked it. That's when you know you're onto something good. And that's when you know you should just carry on doing that, okay? Carry on that pace and try and keep that feeling going.
A bad girl.
So that is my list of things that Mr. Beast does. Mad respect to the whole team that are involved in doing that, because it's a huge operation and the content is really good quality. I mean, it's channels like him that make YouTube stand up against things like Hollywood and TV in general, so
We're not worthy!
So I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope that you've learned something new. If you want more in-depth reviewing into other channels, then let me know their names. I might do something like this again. One last thing I want to say before I go is, Mr. Beast, if you're watching this, why the fuck aren't I editing for you right now? I just want to do it once. Just let me do one video. One video! Get the hell out of here, Jimmy. Just let me do one video. You son of a bitch. Bye.